Our next speaker is Hina Usmani. She's a council member, 𝐈𝐾𝐝, and chair of CA Women Committees. She's also the managing partner of 𝐬𝐮mani 𝐤𝐿. She has the honor of being elected as the first woman council member in 2017, and she was re-elected and the first woman vice president of 𝐈𝐾𝐝 in 2019. Hina Usmani is also a fellow member of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Pakistan, and she is carrying over 30 years of combined work and professional practice experience. Currently, she is chairing the CA Women Committee of 𝐈𝐾𝐝. She is also the chair of SAFA Women Leadership Committee for 23-24. Internationally serves as a technical advisor at IFAC, SMP Advisory Group, SMPAC. She has served over 12 years at senior management level positions in the leasing and banking sectors prior to commencement of practice in 2004. So Hina Usmani, I would like to welcome you here.
Please welcome on the stage.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I'm so delighted to be part of this conference. And I must say this is a wonderful initiative just taken by Berkeley, Middle East. And it is the efforts of the man. I'm happy to see that Dr. Musa is behind it. And thank you very much, because you know, we always listen to people, and wherever you talk, the people are pro-gender diversity. But you find very few people who are in action, who really work for gender diversity. So I'm very grateful, Dr. Musa and your team, Berkeley team, for taking this initiative and coming forward. I'm amazed to see the women leadership, women participation in UAE, and the way they are progressing in education and entrepreneurship and employment. Everywhere, in every field, they are progressing very well. I'm very amazed to see that, and I think this is an example which everyone should follow. And in Pakistan also, we are progressing well, especially in the finance field. We were not very much active in the finance if we take women into account. But women are progressing very well with certain initiatives which we have taken, and they are coming towards the finance field now. So let's start with today's topic. Thank you very much for your kind introduction. And the topic which I have today is navigating the new environment. So navigating the new environment, and what does this mean for the CFOs? Naturally, the CFOs has to change and adopt this shift of new environment, and we will discuss how we'll do it. So I'm here with you, as humble to be your speaker today. So this is a small roadmap which I've developed, and how I will take you through to see how the role of CFO has been changed to a traditional CFO to a new CFO. So that is navigation. We will see the key areas which are really impacting CFOs, and the women CFOs challenges we will discuss at the end. When I was doing my research for this topic, I found a very interesting discussion paper of International Federation of Accountants. It was released exactly a decade ago, 2013, October 2013. And that actually talked about, this was a global debate on preparing accountants for finance leadership, and this is the IFAC discussion paper. IFAC actually engaged all the stakeholders and the professional accountants in business from all around the world. And they have discussed the role and expectation. And very interesting, it was based on certain principles, and they have actually evolved and shared certain values. One of the values is creating value, like how developing strategies for sustainable value creation could have impact on the CFOs. Then the reporting value, ensuring relevant and useful international external business reporting. Then the role, the enabling value, talks about the supporting the governance body and the senior management, and how the CFOs should be involved in decision making. Preserving value. This is the asset and liability management, risk management, relation to achieving organizational objectives. So I must encourage all of you to read this very interesting discussion paper, and you will see that how thought process was started a decade ago and how we are progressing and exactly following the same rules and same values nowadays. So let's briefly go through the traditional CFO role way back. Strong financial acumen, but low on the skills like analytical skills and disruptive technology. A strong technical know-how. Technically know-how is not a big deal for an accountant or for a CFO role. They most of the time focus on numbers. Traditional CFO operates in silo, works mostly in isolation with limited interaction with business leaders and CIOs. Traditional CFO follows vertical career path. CFOs were either accountants to grow up through the finance office, and there was not a need to have a strategic business value. So they were actually just moving around, and whenever they reach to a CFO level position, they see that this is the peak. They do not see beyond that. But that was the traditional CFO. Nowadays, this is entirely different. So how we navigate the new environment. So this is the digital champion. The CFOs are now digital champions. So now we see that how digital CFO think and how they are evolving. Business leadership. This is the first and foremost quality which each CFO must have, is this overall understanding of the business and takes part in strategic decisions. We were just talking about the strategies, and we were thinking that how a strategy could evolve and what is the difference, what is the purpose of a strategy. So strategic thinking is like creating value for the organization. How those strategies could meet the organizational objectives. Now, digital CFOs have strong analytical skills, building insights from the data to drive predictive, self-correcting, and intelligent decisions. This is the important thing which they are doing, and they have all the tools and skills to do that. They are good communicators. They work closely with CIOs. So now the difference between a traditional CFO and the digital CFO career path is now they are following horizontal career path. What is horizontal career path like? They are going beyond the finance function. They are coming into strategy. They are coming into human resource. They are coming into supply chain. They are even going beyond that. They are going as CEO positions. They are going beyond that. So actually they have the ability to do that, and now the environment has given them options to move forward. This is one area which I would like attention of each one of you. And I'm sure each one of you is aware of what is the significance of this topic. Sustainability, ESG. Now, CFOs are sustainability ambassadors. This is the area which each country, organization, individual, everyone is talking about. And this is the most important thing which we need to do in order to save this planet for our future generations. So this is something very, very important. And environment. E, when we talk about ESG, E is for environment, where a lot of regulations are coming forward. The reporting is becoming mandatory now. Like International Sustainability Standards Board has issued 2 standards, S1 and S2, which are applicable for the general disclosures as well as for the climate-related disclosures, risk and opportunities. So the CFO has to keep themselves aware of all these developments and to see how the organizations are affecting with these disclosure requirements and with these actions which they are supposed to require. Supply chain is very important. We cannot miss the supply chain area, and that is managing risk, financial impact of environmental disruptions. Because, the business is linked with the supply chain, and no business can done business in isolation. They have to establish their relationship with the small investors, with the small suppliers, and with small customers as well, so that whatever they get from the vendors, they have to give them a sustainable product to their customers. Of course, this sustainability, climate change challenges, whatever we need to establish our organization sustainable, we need to invest. So that is the area where CFO plays a significant role, and they should see how the prudent investment and strategies are planned so that organizations' objectives and the bottom lines are not affected without any significant changes, so that affect their cash flows or future cash flows or future profitability. And they designed systems in a manner so that organizations remain positive but sustainable. Social. Most of the time people think that social aspect as part of this ESG is CSR. Of course, CSR is part of it, but it's not the only thing. It's going beyond that. What is happening, like the employees' health and well-being, is something very important. We need to see the mental health of the people associated with us, whether they are employees, they are our vendors, they are our stakeholders. We need to take care of each one of them. So this is something, the actions which the organizations has to take in order to keep moving in a sustainable environment, supporting initiatives for social welfare and for the workforce. G, governance. Governance, of course, nothing can progress unless proper governance is in place. So the board and the policymakers have great responsibility, not only putting up policies, but they need to make sure that adherence to those policies and the governance mechanism is in place in the organizations. Board diversity. Of course, board diversity, there are many studies which has proven that the board diversity has brought a lot of positive outcomes on the company's financial performances, as well as the culture, the improvement in the corporate culture is also one area when the diversity is helping the organizations. Greenwashing. Everyone, I'm sure, must be aware of this term, greenwashing. And this is the responsibility, again, lies with the CFO, that how we protect the disclosure, protect the best interest of the organization, and make very, very correct disclosure so that it does not leave, like, for example, we see if we do the greenwashing initially, but later on we found out that that has actually given a wrong impact, and it has actually went against the corporate objectives. So that will be the disadvantage for each and everyone who is associated with the entity. So we need to see the transparency issues, and that puts great responsibility on the CFO to move forward. We have just talked about this new ways of working as well. The new ways of working, we have seen that COVID has played where it has a lot of negativities, but the one positive thing which I found out of COVID is the remote working, the new ways of working. It has taught us about how to move forward and how we could all engage without even engage into traveling or any physical interaction. We are connected with each other. So remote working. There is one study I found, and I thought I should share with you, that employers saved about $144 billion by allowing their employees to work remotely. Organizations that allow remote working report a 25% decrease in turnover rates. remote employees work 1.4 more days per month compared to employees in office. That's a very good, interesting statistics. And same is the case with the flexible working also. The flexible working also aimed at those looking for the work-life balances. And it's especially for women, it's a very, very good opportunity to work and engage in the workforce, and tailored to accommodate those unable to adhere to traditional working hours. But some of the critics are that this is not very widely adopted by serious career-focused individuals. I would like to share a real example with like in our firm in 2013. What we did, we introduced a model work from home. At that time, COVID was not even nearby. But people were not aware of that model, working model. So how it came to our mind, because we are the all-women-led accountancy practice in Pakistan, and we came through the same kind of a struggle. Like, I worked 10 years as full-time employee. I raised 3 kids. And when I found it very difficult for me to continue my working, like from 9 to 10 p.m., 9 a.m. to 10 p.m., that was very difficult for me to manage my home and work together. So I had to take a very, very bold decision. I left employment in 2004. I was, at that time, I was serving as EVP, Head of Risk Management of a bank. So, but, you know, that time I had to take that decision, and I started my own practice. And that was the reason that I became a flexible working woman, but at the same time I was looking after my kids as well. So later on I continued doing that. My kids grown up, and then we actually converted this practice into a partnership. This was all women-led accountancy practice, and then women started approaching us. They said, we would like to work with you. So, but we need some kind of flexibility. So what we did, we introduced 2 models. One is work from home. For those who were not based in Pakistan, those were all Pakistani ladies who were chartered accountants, moved abroad, but not in the workforce. They engaged with us, and we also provided opportunities to women who were in Karachi or Pakistan and wanted to come to office for some hours. So those were actually what they were doing. They were dropping kids to school and coming to our office for 2 to 3 hours, and then go back and start working on the same assignment. This way, we were able to engage more than 150 women over a span of from over 15 countries. And that was, the model was very appreciated worldwide, and even the World Bank mentioned in their report on observance of codes and standards for Pakistan in 2017. So that was very good encouragement for us, but you know, at that time when we were working, people were not taking it seriously. They were not actually absorbing that concept. They were not really understanding that this can be done. We actually did quality assurance. What we did, we sent the audit teams, field staff to physically, but we hired a girl who was very expert, a qualified chartered accountant, but she was based in Australia. One girl was based in Singapore, and they were doing all the quality assurance work for us. What they do, they just review the files, get everything done, and just put it us on our table. When I shared all of this with my colleagues, they said, how can you do an audit remotely? This is not possible. So I said, I'm actually experiencing it, and this is the benefit which I'm getting, that I'm actually engaging those women, and I'm bringing those women into the workforce. So that example, actually, when we see COVID coming in, and when everyone experienced this working from home, this has changed the mindset. And this was the positive thing which I always honor, that this COVID has brought this positivity in the mindset of the people to accept remote working, which was not there previously. So I'm sure every one of you must be experiencing these remote working benefits and moving forward accordingly. So let's talk about something women CFOs. What are the challenges and benefits? Of course, the biases, we talked about it. Salma also talked about some biases. For women, they are still there. We have obstacles for women in CFO roles. There are gender pay gap issues. It's not in one country, it's everywhere. So we need to talk about, we need to create awareness, and we need to see that how we could break this and just remove this gap. When everyone is working, there should not be a gender biasness in that when we talk about the pay gap. We need to empower women in corporate leadership. This is the biggest challenge. And for this, I would recommend to women CFOs who are here that one observation which we have recently found in a very global discussion we held at the SAFAR Women Leadership Committee meeting, which was held in October, that women should build confidence in themselves. They have talent, they have the ability, they have the technical skills. It's only, most of the time, it is the confidence which has kept them at the lower level. So you need to come forward, you need to build your confidence, you can do it. So that confidence will take you forward in the leadership roles. Networking, we have been talking about networking. I think most of the honorable speakers have told us about the importance of networking. Of course, networking is very important, and self-investment importance is very important for all these challenges. So what are the benefits and how women CFOs can add value to businesses? Of course, we talked about multitasking. That was, women brings years of multitasking experience from home to workplace. That is the biggest advantage women has. They have diverse perspectives, brings a unique and diverse viewpoint and financial decision making. They are inclusive leadership, fosters an inclusive collaborative work environment. Of course, when the boards, the management are diversified, that bring very positive results, very positive outcomes for the organizations. So these are some few words of wisdom. To achieve career advancement, women should be technically strong, digitally transformed, and possess the required skill set, essential to climb up the ladder. Remain positive and ethical at all times. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your advices. You are a true inspiration for all the women. And thanks for joining us. And